In the middle of a bustling airport, a scene unfolded that no one could ignore. The VIP lounge, usually a sanctuary of calm and exclusivity, erupted in tension when a black CEO, respected and accomplished, was abruptly asked to leave her seat. The reason? A white passenger demanded it. Shock rippled through the room as whispers filled the air. Security hesitated, unsure, while the CEO's face froze, her mind racing, a lifetime of hard work and success seeming to vanish in a single moment. What happened next would not only defy expectations, but also expose a system of privilege and injustice that most people never see. She had spent decades climbing the corporate ladder, navigating boardrooms where her presence often felt like an anomaly. At 62, she was a black woman at the pinnacle of her career, a CEO of a Fortune 500 company, known for her sharp mind, relentless drive, and uncompromising standards. Yet, despite every achievement, she had learned that recognition could be fleeting, especially in spaces dominated by unspoken hierarchies. That morning, the airport had been unusually crowded. Travelers hustled with a mix of urgency and fatigue, their footsteps echoing across the polished floors. She moved with the confidence of someone who had built empires, carrying herself with grace and authority. Her briefcase held contracts worth millions, her mind strategizing deals that could change lives. Every detail of her journey mattered, from her carefully chosen outfit to the precise timing of her arrivals. As she settled into the plush VIP lounge chair, she allowed herself a brief moment of relief, a quiet exhale in the midst of chaos. This was supposed to be her space, a small reward for years of tireless effort. But as the glass doors swung open, the calm shattered. A passenger, noticeably impatient, approached, his voice sharp and commanding. The words that followed were like a punch to the gut. She was being removed from her seat to accommodate someone else. Confusion and disbelief rippled through her. How could a lifetime of achievements be erased in a single sentence? Around her, the room seemed to blur, faces a mix of pity, indifference, and silent judgment. It was a moment that highlighted a harsh reality. No matter how high she rose, prejudice still lurked in unexpected corners. Her heart pounded, not just from anger, but from the realization that the fight for respect and equality was far from over. The moment she stood, the VIP lounge seemed to contract around her. Every eye subtly followed, some in curiosity, others in judgment. The staff's hesitance only made the humiliation sharper. They exchanged glances, unsure whether to enforce a rule or defy an authority figure. The white passenger's impatience was palpable, a stark contrast to the calm confidence she usually commanded. He didn't just want the seat, he demanded it, as if decades of her hard work and reputation meant nothing in that room. Inside her mind, memories of similar moments flashed, boardroom dismissals, overlooked promotions, subtle slights that had accumulated over a lifetime. And yet she had always endured, fought, and risen above. But today, the injustice felt immediate, public, undeniable. She could see it in the tightening jaws of the lounge staff, in the way other passengers shuffled uncomfortably. They knew something unfair was happening but remained frozen in passive observation. Her pulse quickened as she considered her options. Retreat quietly and endure the embarrassment, or confront the absurdity of the situation. She remembered the countless hours she had poured into building her empire, negotiating deals that had saved struggling companies, mentoring young professionals, and breaking barriers that many assumed were permanent. And here, in a space meant for privilege, her accomplishments were invisible. A flicker of resolve ignited within her. This was not just about a seat, it was about a principle, about demanding respect where it had been denied. The CEO's mind raced through possibilities, strategies, and outcomes. Around her, the lounge continued its symphony of murmurs and shuffles, but in her world, everything narrowed down to one undeniable truth. She would not be erased even for a moment, even for a person who assumed entitlement was their right. The tension tightened as she stood poised, ready to act, aware that every eye in the room was now silently watching. A single decision would change everything, and the room's atmosphere bristled with anticipation. The room held its breath as she stepped forward, every movement deliberate, radiating authority. No longer just a passenger in the lounge, she became a force of undeniable presence. The white passenger, previously smug and commanding, suddenly looked small in her gaze. Every second stretched as she reached for her phone, her mind calculating the consequences of her next move. She didn't speak. Words would be unnecessary. With a few swift taps, she accessed her company's network, sending a directive that rippled through the airport staff instantly. Security froze as alerts pinged across their devices. The VIP lounge manager's eyes widened in disbelief. Within moments, the very people who had sought to enforce her removal were being subtly, irreversibly reminded of her influence. The CEO's calm exterior masked a surge of righteous fury. Every injustice, every dismissive glance, every moment she had been underestimated flashed before her. But instead of lashing out in anger, she wielded her power with precision, ensuring that respect and a clear message was restored without chaos. Staff members who had hesitated now acted with careful attention, their previous uncertainty replaced by understanding. Passengers whispered, some in admiration, some in shock. The moment crystallized. This wasn't just about a VIP seat. It was a lesson in accountability and presence. The CEO had transformed the humiliation into a demonstration of unwavering authority, showing that prejudice and entitlement could be challenged effectively. In that brief yet electric instant, the power dynamic had shifted entirely, leaving the lounge, and everyone in it, forever changed. By the time she finally sat back down, the lounge had returned to its usual hum, but the atmosphere had shifted permanently. Her calm yet commanding response had left an indelible mark on everyone present. Conversations buzzed quietly among passengers and staff alike, admiration and disbelief intertwined. What had begun as a personal injustice had become a public lesson in resilience, dignity, and the power of standing firm. Within hours, a bystander's discreet video captured the entire sequence. Social media erupted. Clips of her poised authority, contrasted with the passenger's stunned expression, spread like wildfire across platforms. Hashtags highlighting racial injustice, workplace authority, and empowerment began trending. Viewers from across the country and even around the globe weighed in, praising her courage, dissecting the moment, and sharing their own experiences of overcoming prejudice. Comments poured in, with millions inspired by her ability to turn humiliation into influence. For the CEO, the viral attention was not the goal. It was a reminder that justice and integrity could transcend any space, any moment, or any attempt to diminish her worth. She had faced a blatant act of discrimination, transformed it into a powerful statement, and reminded the world that recognition and respect are earned through character and action, not assumed entitlement. Her story became more than a viral moment. It became a movement, a conversation starter, and a source of reflection for anyone who had ever felt unseen, underestimated, or undervalued. It served as a powerful reminder. Moments of injustice, no matter how public or personal, can be met with composure, strategy, and unwavering self-respect. If this story inspired you, don't forget to like, share, and comment your thoughts below. Let's keep the conversation alive and amplify the voices that demand respect.